Namaste dear students, welcome to our YouTube channel Master Physics Academy. By learning physics here, you will master physics. Happy learning, ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದಾಗಲಿ, ಶುಭವಾಗಲಿ. A charged particle moves in a uniform magnetic field. The velocity of the particle at some instant makes an acute angle with the magnetic field. The path of the particle will be. Here it is given that the region is having uniform magnetic field which can be represented graphically by series of equidistant parallel lines, all of them having same direction. So we have a particle, charged particle moving with some velocity say v, making an angle theta to the external magnetic field. Here it is given that the angle it is going to make with the magnetic field is acute. So now what kind of motion it will undergo is well known to us, that is going to be helical like this. But there are two options which say it is going to be helix but with a different type. That is in option C it is given that a helix with uniform pitch, and in option D it is given that helix with non-uniform pitch. Now we need to study what is pitch. Pitch is the distance covered by the charged particle when it undergoes one rotation along the direction of magnetic field. So how we are going to calculate that? So it is going to be v cos theta times t. What is v cos theta? That is the component of velocity along the direction of magnetic field. So this is the v cos theta, which is component of velocity of the charged particle along the direction of magnetic field. And what about theta? What about t? T is time period of rotation. Time period is given by 2 pi m divided by qb. So here mass of the charged particle is going to remain same. Q, that is charge of the charged particle, which is also going to remain same, and magnetic field is uniform throughout, hence it is going to remain same. Hence time period is not going to change. So time period is not going to change and v cos theta is not going to change. Hence pitch is not going to change. Pitch is going to remain same. That means we need to pick option C. The correct definition of Misner's effect is, what is Misner's effect? At very low temperature, the diamagnetic substances show or exhibit perfect diamagnetism. That means no magnetic field lines will pass through them, and also they start behaving like superconductors. That means the option we should pick here is option B, which says the phenomenon of perfect diamagnetism in superconductors. A person sitting firmly over a rotating stool has his arms stretched. If he folds his arms, his angular momentum about the axis of the rotation. Here let us consider this as the axis of rotation. Initially the person has stretched his arms outwards like this. Because of this, the masses are away from the axis of rotation. Hence the moment of inertia will increase. Now in the second case, he has folded his arms closer to the axis of rotation like this. Hence mass particles are closer to the axis of rotation, and that will result in decrease in moment of inertia. And what do we know here is there is no external torque acting on the system. That means the angular velocity in this case will be lesser and the angular velocity in this case will be higher, keeping I omega constant always. This is the statement of conservation of angular momentum. So in this case the angular momentum of the person will be conserved. Hence the option we need to pick is option C. A uniform circular disc of mass 400 gram and radius 4 centimeter is rotated about one of its diameter at an angular speed of 10 rotations per second. The kinetic energy of the disc is. So here the kinetic energy of a rotating body can be estimated using formula K equals half I omega squared, where I is moment of inertia and omega is its angular speed. So I for a disc rotating about its diameter is given by mr squared by 4. Let us substitute and calculate the moment of inertia here. M is given as 400 grams, which means 0.4 kg. R is given as 4 centimeter. 4 squared means it is 16. Centimeter squared means 10 power minus 2 into 10 to the power minus 2, that is 10 power minus 4 meter squared divided by 4. So what do we have here is a 0.1 into 16, that is going to be 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 4 kg meter squared. Okay, right. Then omega is given in the unit of rotation per second. So 10 rotation per second. Each rotation will cover 2 pi radians. That means 1 rotation per second means 2 pi radian per second. So that is going to be the value of omega in SI unit. Now let us substitute and get the answer for kinetic energy of I means 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 4. Okay, omega squared means 10 squared is 100 and 2 squared is 4 and pi squared is almost equal to 9.8, or you can just approximate it to 10. Quick calculation, for quick calculation purpose you can do that. So solving this, what we are getting is 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 into 1.6 is 3.2 into 10 to the power what do we have, 10 power minus 1, and unit will be joules. 3.2 into 10 to the power minus 1 joules is the approximated answer, but nowhere we are finding answer nearer to it. So no option is matching the answer, hence maybe they have provided grace marks for this question. A coil of wire of 1000 turns has self-inductance 120 millihenry. The self-inductance of a coil of, that is missing here, 250 turn is. This question is incomplete, I suppose, because the self-inductance formula what we know is mu naught mu r n squared pi r squared divided by L, where mu naught we know that it is going to be permeability of free space, mu r is permeability, relative permeability of the medium on which the coil is wound, n is number of turns in the coil, pi is constant, you know that 3.142, and r is the radius of the coil. Okay, and pi r squared, together this pi r squared will give us the area of cross section of the coil. Now what is L? L is the length of the coil. Okay, so only number of turns is given, nothing is given about R and L. Then what we need to suppose is this area of cross section and the length of the coil will be same in both the cases. We need to suppose like that and we need to solve for the answer, right? So then what do we come to know is this L is directly proportional to n squared. So that is the only thing we can do right now. Okay, therefore L2 divided by L1 will be equal to N2 divided by N1 whole square. So what is N2? Second time it is given that 250 turns, hence it is square, don't forget square, 250 divided by N1 was 1000, right? So 1000. So whole to the power 2 is there. So if you solve this, what you will get is 0.25. 0.25 means 1 by 4, right? So 25 by 100 is 0.25. 0.25 is 1 by 4. 1 by 4 whole squared is 1 by 16, or you can just write 1 by 4 into 4 like that. Now what is L2 then? L2 will be equal to 1 by 4 into 4 times L1. L1 is given as 120 millihenry, right? 120 millihenry. So it is going to be for 30 times 120. So 30 by 4 means we will be getting answer nearer to 7 point something, right? So 70, 7.5 millihenry is the answer. Okay, nowhere this answer is found. Hence, I suppose maybe grace marks has been given for this question too. The instantaneous voltage of a 50 Hertz generator giving peak voltage as 300 volt. The generator equation for this voltage is, again some grammatical mistake here. So let us oversight it and solve for the answer. Here F value is given as 50 Hertz. Okay, then peak voltage of AC signal is given as 300 volts. So omega we can calculate by the formula 2 pi f. So what is omega? 2 into pi into 50. So it is going to be 100 pi. What is the general equation for instantaneous value of AC voltage? It is given by V equals V naught sin omega t. Let us substitute now. So V naught is going to be 300 volts. Sin omega is 100 pi into t. So this answer is given in option B. So that is the correct answer. A jet plane is traveling west at 450 meter per second. If the horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field is 4 into 10 to the power minus 4 Tesla and angle of dip is 30 degree, then the vertical component is. Here all these extra informations are given to confuse you. This jet plane traveling towards west 450 meters per second, all these things are just given to confuse you. So what we need is the relation between vertical component and horizontal component and angle of dip. Okay, so that is known to us by this fact, BV divided by BH, that is vertical component of Earth's magnetic field divided by horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field is equal to tan of the angle of dip at that place. Then what is vertical component? It is going to be horizontal component multiplied to tan of the angle of dip. Let us substitute. BH is given as 4 into 10 to the power minus 4 into tan 30 degree. What is tan 30 degree? It is going to be 1 by root 3. So 1 by root 3 means 1.73. So it is going to be 4 divided by 1.73, almost 2 I can say, into 10 to the power minus 4. The answer should be nearer to 2 but little greater than 2, which is given in option C. That is 2.3 into 10 to the power minus 4 Tesla. A transformer is used to light a 100 watt 110 volt lamp from a 220 volt supply. If the supply current is 0.6 ampere, the efficiency of the transformer is. The similar kind of question I have solved in some other paper, maybe NEET I think. Please go through it. I have solved there in a greater detail. I will be solving here in a quick way. So let us mark output of the transformer and the input of the transformer separately. So it is given that a bulb is connected in the output which requires 100 watts of power and its voltage rating is 110 volts. That means output power of the transformer is 100 watt and output voltage of the transformer is 110 volts. And in the input section we have 220 volts and current equal to 0.6 ampere. So using this I am able to calculate the input power, which is going to be Vi into Ii. Substitute and calculate. It is going to be 22 into 6. So it is going to be 132 watts. Then the efficiency of the transformer is defined as output power divided by input power. In terms of percentage means you need to multiply that with 100. So let us substitute. Power output is 100 watt. Power input is 132 watt multiplied by 100. So if you solve this, you will be getting answer equal to 76%. Therefore, option B is the right choice. A bicycle generator creates 1.5 volt at 15 km per hour. The EMF generated at 10 km per hour is, obviously it is going to be 1 volt, but I will show the calculation part. So what do we know about induced EMF is, it is directly proportional to rate of change of flux, right? So now the rate of change of flux depends on speed, because more the speed of the turnings of the windings, then more induced EMF will be generated. So for 15 km per hour, the generated induced EMF is 1.5. Therefore, for 10 km per hour, it should be 1 volt. So I can say induced EMF is directly proportional to velocity here. Therefore, it is going to be epsilon 1 divided by epsilon 2 equal to V1 divided by V2. Or in terms of epsilon 2, I have V2 by V1 into epsilon 1. So what is the velocity in the second case? It is 10 kilometer per hour. What is the velocity in the first case? It is 15. And what is the induced EMF in the first case? It is 1.5. So what is 1.5 divided by 15? It is 1 by 10. So 10 by 10 is 1. So answer is option D. The mean or average value of AC over a complete cycle is. So let us consider the AC signal. So if you consider one complete cycle, the cycle will be like this. So we have positive values in the positive half cycle, and there will be corresponding values in the negative half cycle. If you add all those instantaneous values, what you will be getting is 0. Hence the average over a complete cycle will be 0 as given in option B.